Hello friends, I am Vignesh Karthik and along with Jay Kumar, today we will be discussing Telangana state, the formation, a historical perspective to it, the politics around it, the economic aspects and then a little bit of the current day scenario as well. But before we go to the video, we wish you all the best for both the Andhra Public Service Commission exam and the Telangana Public Service Commission exam. Telangana, the 29th state. So let me give you a few facts first. The state is the 12th largest and the 12th most populated state in the country, and then the population of this state is approximately 3.5 crore people, and then the area is 1,15,000 square kilometers approximately. The major cities include Hyderabad, Warangal, Nizamabad, Khammam and Karimnagar. The northernmost district is the Adilabad district, and then the southernmost district is the Mahbubnagar district. So now, before the bifurcation, this is how the Andhra Pradesh map was, and then the area over here adjacent to Maharashtra is what has become Telangana of today. Now, going by this map, Maharashtra is on the north and the northwest, Chhattisgarh is on the north, Karnataka to the west, and then Andhra Pradesh to the east and south. So these are the bordering states of Telangana. This is a more detailed map of Telangana. So a trivia here. The name Telangana was derived from the word Telugu and Angana, which means the place where Telugu is spoken. The Nizams used the word Telangana to differentiate between the Marathi speaking regions of their kingdom from the Telugu speaking regions of their kingdom. And then Kurnool, this particular city was the capital of Andhra Pradesh between 1953 and 1956. And once today's Telangana and Andhra were merged, Hyderabad became the capital. Hyderabad stands as a joint capital for both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana for not more than 10 years, which expires in the year 2024. So now I will be discussing the timeline with you. Before I start, I wish to tell you people that this is going to be a little long and it might have a lot of information. I've tried to cover the most important dates on the slide, but however I'll be giving you more information as I talk. So let's start with some ancient and medieval history. From 230 BC to 220 AD, the Satavahana kingdom ruled the region between Krishna and Godavari rivers. The region experienced a golden age between 1083 and 1203 under the Kakatiya kingdom, established in Warangal. So the movie Rudramadevi that has come out recently talks about the Kakatiya kingdom, though it is not entirely factual. Just to give you an idea about what I am telling you. In the year 1309, Alauddin Khilji's general Malik Kafur, Alauddin Khilji, one of the strongest and the most deadliest sultans of the Delhi Sultanate, has sent one of his generals to conquer the kingdoms in the south. So Malik Kafur, he attacked Warangal and then the Kakatiyas declined. The region came under the Delhi Sultanate till the year 1687, and in the year 1687, Aurangzeb took over control. In the year 1724, Nizamul Mulk Asif Jah of the Nizam dynasty established his independent kingdom and made Hyderabad his capital in the year 1769. So in 1724 he established an independent kingdom, and in 1769 he made Hyderabad the capital of that particular kingdom. In 1799 the British signed an alliance with the Nizam, and the Nizam ceded coastal Andhra and the Rayalaseema regions to the British, and he held the Telangana state that we are talking about. The region remained under British and the Nizam till 1946, when the Telangana rebellion came out. We will talk about it a little later. Next, the region now being called Telangana was a part of the Hyderabad state and was merged into the Indian Union on 17th September 1948 by police action. So it was one of the achievements by Sardar Patel, wherein he annexed Hyderabad state from the Nizams. And then central government appointed a civil servant called M.K. Vellodi as the first chief minister of Hyderabad on 26 January 1950, when the constitution came to force. In 1952, Bargula Ramakrishna Rao was elected as the chief minister of Hyderabad state in the first democratic election. Andhra was the first state to be carved out from the Madras state on linguistic basis on November 1st, 1953, and it had Kurnool as its capital, like I told you earlier. And this was achieved through Potti Sriramulu's fast unto death, and after his death, they gave away the Andhra state. And then the proposal for amalgamation of Hyderabad state with the Andhra state came up in 1953 itself. And then the chief minister of that point of time, Bargula Ramakrishna Rao, supported the Congress decision, though there was a little bit of turbulence in the Telangana region. What we have to understand is the Telangana region was never keen to join the Andhra state. They always identified themselves as distinct set of people. And after the acceptance of the merger proposal, Andhra Assembly passed a resolution on 25th November 1955, promising to safeguard the interests of Telangana. And then an agreement was reached between Telangana leaders and the Andhra leaders in the year 1956 to merge Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, with promises to safeguard Telangana's interests. It is also called a gentleman's agreement. It was signed between Bezawad Gopal Reddy and Bargul Ramakrishna Rao, and post that, under the States Reorganization Act, the Telugu speaking areas of Hyderabad were merged with Andhra Pradesh, giving birth to the state of Andhra Pradesh on 1st November 1956. And then the city of Hyderabad, which was the capital of Hyderabad state, became the capital of Andhra Pradesh. In 1969, an agitation began in Telangana region as people protested the failure to implement the gentleman's agreement and other safeguards properly. Marri Channa Reddy launched the Telangana Praja Samiti, espousing the cause of a separate state. So the forerunners for creation of Telangana state is one Mr. Marri Channa Reddy. The agitation intensified and turned violent, with the students in the forefront of the struggle. Almost 300 of them were killed at that point of time because of the police firing. There were several rounds of talks with the leaders of the two regions, and then the Prime Minister at that point of time, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, came to an 8-point plan in 1969. The Telangana leaders rejected it, and then the protests continued. All of this was held under the leadership of Marri Channa Reddy under the Telangana Praja Samiti party. So the reason why I have given Karimnagar here is because Karimnagar was the center of all the protests, almost all the protests. Only at the last phase, when the students took over the protests, it happened in the Osmania University of Hyderabad, but otherwise most of the protests happened in the Karimnagar area. And in 1972, Jai Andhra movement started again in Andhra and Rayalaseema as a counter to the Telangana struggle. So on 21st September 1973, a settlement was reached, and a 6-point formula was put. Instead of an 8-point formula that was rejected in the year 1969, a 6-point formula was put for the people in the two regions. The objective of the 6-point agenda was relatively simple and again the same as before. It is nothing but accelerated development or more development to the backward regions and preferential treatment to the local candidates for employment. That's all. So it's the same thing which is being told again. And next, in the year 1985, the employees from Telangana region were really disappointed with the way things were happening, and then they also came out with voices about how injustice was being done to the people of the region. At that point of time, the TDP leader N.T. Ramarao brought a government order to safeguard the interests of Telangana people in the matters of government employment. Next comes the year 1997. This is when the Telangana movement got a good boost because the BJP supported the demand for Telangana state, and in the subsequent year where there was an election, the party promised one vote, two states. In 1999, in reaction to this, Congress also demanded the creation of Telangana state. At that point of time, Congress was facing defeats in the Andhra Pradesh elections, and Mr. Nara Chandrababu Naidu was really powerful and popular amongst the people. After these initial boosts in year 1997 and 1999, another chapter opened when K. Chandrasekhar Rao, the TRS leader and then the current CM of Telangana, was denied a seat in the cabinet of Chandrababu Naidu's government. And that's when he walked out of TDP and launched Telangana Rashtra Samiti in the year 2001. Once the party was floated, there was pressure from both the Congress leaders in Telangana and the TRS people towards coming up with a new state. But this was rejected by the Union Home Minister at that point of time, Mr. L.K. Advani, saying smaller states were neither viable nor conducive to the integrity of the country. And after this, TRS started gradually building a movement for a separate state. In the year 2004, Congress under Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy forged an alliance with the TRS, promising them the Telangana state. And once the elections were won, TRS also joined the government. After this, there was a lot of delay in terms of bringing up a new state, and TRS quit the coalition government in December 2006 and continued an independent fight. So their alliance lasted for 2 years. Next, in October 2008, TDP changed its stance and declared support for the bifurcation of the state. And in 2009, TRS launched an indefinite hunger strike on 29th November. And then the center came out and it said that it was initiating a process for the formation of the Telangana state in reaction to KCR's fast unto death. However, 1 month later, on December 23rd, the center again came out and told that the issue of Telangana will be put on hold. So this angered the students and the people of Telangana, and protests started. There were also a lot of suicides at that point of time by the students. Moving on, February 3rd, 2010. The center constituted a 5-member committee headed by former Judge Sri Krishna to look into the statehood demand. This particular committee suggested a united Andhra option because of the development of 3 regions, which is Telangana, Rayalaseema and Coastal Andhra. So, citing the development aspect, they said a united Andhra Pradesh is the best option. After this, the Telangana region witnessed a series of agitations like the Million March, Chalo Assembly and the Sakala Janula Samme in the year 2011 and 12. MLAs belonging to different parties quit from the house. With the MPs from Telangana trying to push this further, Congress made the Union Ministry to convene an all-party meeting, and on December 28, 2012, a decision was arrived that an amicable solution to the crisis will be brought out. In the year 2013, the Congress Working Committee and the UPA, they have come to a decision. And in the same year, on December 16, the bill was introduced in both the houses of the state legislature, and following a series of mishaps and a lot of protests from both Andhra and the Telangana sides, at last on February 18, 2014, the Lok Sabha passed the Telangana bill. And again, on June 2nd, 2014, Telangana came into existence. This long road was very turbulent, and to be very honest, it was filled with a lot of emotions. So, but what we need to understand, or how we need to look at it, is not with a bias towards one state or another, but as a struggle by the people to grow. So the moment we start looking at it as one person's loss or another person's gain, we will end up becoming polarized. Or when we try to write an answer in the exams, if it's a descriptive answer, if we pick one side, we would end up being wrong at least in one place or the other. So the way to look at it is as to how different communities within a given region are trying to compete to grow. And now the last part of the timeline, the Telangana Formation Day, June 2nd or September 17th. So recently in the news you would have seen that the BJP said that Telangana Day should be observed on September 17th and not June 2nd when it came to existence as per the legislative process. So why September 17th? So September 17th, 1948 is when the Indian Armed Forces took the princely state of Hyderabad into control. So ending 200 years of Nizam rule. So that is the significance of the day September 17th. But why is it not spoken out vocally, or why is it not celebrated as the Liberation Day? Because September 17th is celebrated as the Liberation Day in Karnataka and Maharashtra. So having said that, why is it not the case in Hyderabad or in Telangana? So the answer again lies in the history. The incidents that happened before September 17th were not very happy incidents. there was a lot of communal violence in the state of Hyderabad. So we had discussed earlier that in 1946 there was a Telangana rebellion that was suppressed by the Razakars. So Razakars were basically the mercenaries of the Nizam of Hyderabad. So when there was a Telangana rebellion, the Razakars tried to suppress the rebellion, and it was bloody again. There was a lot of bloodshed, and when the police action took place, there was a lot of targeted violence against the Muslims who were feudal lords. So under the Nizam, who was a Muslim ruler, there were a lot of feudal lords who were also Muslims. So when they were trying to establish control, the police action had to reverse that, and because of that, there was a lot of communal violence. This police action resulted in large sections of Muslim elite and the middle class migrate to Pakistan and other countries, leaving behind their properties, and many lost jobs as well. So this police action was followed by unprecedented communal violence. So because of this bitterness, all the leaders across all the party lines in Telangana do not wish to highlight this because there is some sort of a bitterness attached to it. However, the BJP and the Sangh Parivar call September 17 as Telangana Liberation Day or Telangana Vimochana Dinotsavam. The Communist Party, who was also strong in the Telangana region, called it the Telangana Betrayal Day or the Telangana Vidroha Dinam. The others call it the Telangana Merger Day. For example, the TRS calls it the Telangana Merger Day or the Telangana Veelana Dinotsavam. And we also need to understand that September 17th will be a sensitive issue considering parties like AIMM in Hyderabad. Hurting their sentiments would not be right, especially when we are trying to establish an inclusive democracy in the country and trying to respect the rights of the minorities, the Muslims in this case. So I hope there has been some sort of a clarity. Now Jay will take this forward.
Okay guys, now that you've had a basic understanding of how Telangana came into existence and when it came into existence and the processes related to that, now let's move on to what happened after Telangana came into existence. So after the split, it got divided into this zone. This comprises of the coastal Andhra as mentioned earlier, and this is the Seema or the Rayalaseema portion of it. The Rayalaseema also borders with Karnataka, and Seema, the coastal Andhra, is naturally in the coastal region. So immediately after the formation of Telangana, there was the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Bill that was passed by the centre in 2014. Amidst huge controversy, this bill was passed, and there were many issues of contention in this bill, and let's look at a few of them. Firstly, the major issue was Hyderabad. Now, what to do with Hyderabad? Hyderabad was, we all know, was the capital of Andhra Pradesh state, the United Andhra Pradesh state, and now that Hyderabad generates so much of revenue for both the states, which state was to keep it and which state was to lose it? Hyderabad naturally had to go for Telangana because it is well within the territory of Telangana. As you can see here in this map, this is Hyderabad here, and this is the district, the Rangareddy district. This district is known as Rangareddy district, and it envelops Hyderabad, and it is well within the territory of Telangana. It is not a border situation like Chandigarh is. So that was another issue. So since Hyderabad was the main bone of contention during the bifurcation process also, it generated all the political heat that it can get. Now the Telangana, there were two camps here basically. The Telangana camp and the Seemandhra camp. The Telangana camp is the people who wanted Telangana separate state, and the Seemandhra camp is the comprises of politicians and people who covered this area. This is the Andhra and this is Seema. So this is called as Seemandhra, or the present day Andhra Pradesh. This is called as Seemandhra. Now there was Seemandhra camp and there was Telangana camp. Now Telangana camp, it wanted Hyderabad completely because it was well within its boundaries. So Hyderabad was a major piece, and since it would generate so much of revenue, unbelievable amount of revenues for the state. And since most of the other districts of Telangana were also very backward in nature, for Telangana, Hyderabad was a must, and it wanted Hyderabad all for itself, and it did not want to share Hyderabad. But Seemandhra camp did not want Hyderabad for all for itself, because it knew it was too much impossible of a request to ask for the center. So what Seemandhra camp wanted was Hyderabad to be a union territory, just like Chandigarh, if not like permanently, at least for a period of 10 years. Now that is exactly what it got. So Seemandhra's request was heeded, and according to this bill, Hyderabad was to be a common capital for 10 years, and that would give Andhra Pradesh time to decide on its own capital, which it did later on. I'll come to that. So why did Seemandhra also want Hyderabad so badly? Now we get why Telangana wanted it, because it was well within the boundaries, and it was, since other districts of Telangana were backward, Hyderabad was the only prized gem that the Telangana state would get. So Telangana really wanted it. Now why would Seemandhra really feel desperate about wanting Hyderabad? The main reason for this is that entrepreneurs and businessmen from coastal Andhra and Rayalaseema, they had made huge investments in the sectors of education, health and real estate in Hyderabad, inside Hyderabad. So Hyderabad was the center for all these investments. Now Hyderabad, another major thing about it is that it was the center of Telugu film industry. Now Telugu film industry had majority of its investment from coastal Andhra region. Most of the businessmen and investors from coastal Andhra region invested in Hyderabad, because there is also this Ramoji film city. So with that we also understand that Telugu film industry has been thriving recently with the release of Bahubali and whatnot. So since this thriving industry has been funded by coastal Andhra, they were really interested in keeping Hyderabad in their state so that it is lucrative for them. But the bill said that Hyderabad has to be the common capital for 10 years until Andhra Pradesh comes up with its own capital. Now what happened was Chandrababu Naidu, the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, on October 22nd of 2015, that is last year, he announced that Andhra Pradesh will have its own new capital, that is Amravati. The ancient city of Amravati, that is famous for Buddhist sculpture, that's right. So Amravati was to be the new capital of Andhra Pradesh, and it has to be developed. Now center also has promised that it will give financial support for the creation of essential facilities that are important for the formation of capital in Andhra Pradesh. Now what are these facilities? It could be Raj Bhavan, it could be high courts, government secretariat buildings, office buildings, legislative assemblies and councils. All of those essential infrastructure and road plan will be provided by central assistance only. Now moving on, the bill also covered Apex Council for water sharing. Now what does this mean? The center constituted the Apex Council on the direction of the Supreme Courts. So the Supreme Courts first directed that there are two rivers basically that we have to concentrate on. If we analyze over here, there is the Godavari river that flows around here in Andhra Pradesh and moves. This is the Telangana border, as you all can see, and this is the Andhra Pradesh border that it shares with Telangana. So there is the Krishna river here with its many tributaries. Bhima is one of its tributaries, which comes from Karnataka, and there is Dindi, Halla, Palleru, Akeru and all of the other tributaries. So this is the Krishna river that leads to Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, and there is Godavari river, which has also another lake, important lake called as Nizam Sagar. Now both these rivers are shared by these two states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Now these rivers, naturally with the division of states, there should also be division in water resources. So this was a major question that was answered by Supreme Court by giving the judgment, and the center incorporated it inside this bill. And hence the Apex Council for water sharing, Apex Council was set up for water sharing between Krishna and Godavari rivers between the states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Now recently, as we also can see, there was a major decision taken by Apex Council which was respected by Andhra Pradesh and Telangana also. So they came into a agreement. Now moving on, there's this question of seat allocation, obviously. So any state which was divided, like if you take Bombay state for example, which was divided into Maharashtra and Gujarat, or Madhya Pradesh, which was divided into Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, of course. So any of the state, the major question that will pop up is seat allocation, both the seat allocations of Lok Sabha and assembly seat allocations. Now in Andhra Pradesh also this question popped up, and it was resolved in the following manner. There were 25 Lok Sabha seats that was allocated to Andhra Pradesh as the region, since it has greater territorial constituency and territorial length to it. And Telangana got 17 Lok Sabha seats to it. And then when it comes to assembly, state legislative assemblies, Andhra Pradesh is going to get 175 seats, and Telangana is going to get 119 seats, which is a lot less than Andhra Pradesh, but owing to its population, scarce population, and lesser size, this is the best Telangana can do. So this is what the bill planned for when it comes to seat allocation. Now moving on, there's this aspect of Finance Commission. Now Finance Commission, 13th Finance Commission has already given its award, and it has already determined a particular set of allocation of funds to Andhra Pradesh. Now that this was before Andhra Pradesh was divided into Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Now that the division process has taken over and Telangana has been formed, the award has to be also divided, further apportioned between these two states. So the bill suggests that the existing state of Andhra Pradesh will be apportioned between successor states. What are the successor states? They are Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So the division should be based on the population and some other parameters, and it should be decided only by the center, and that's what the bill suggests. Now moving on, there's also this another issue of Polavaram irrigation project. This was a very ambitious irrigation project undertaken by Chandrababu Naidu and developed also by YS Rajshekar Reddy. And now what happens is, this Polavaram irrigation project, which is done in under Godavari river, it's a multi-purpose irrigation project. It has been accorded national project status by the central government. Now when a project gets national project status, what happens? I'll tell you. Now according to this bill, this has been given national project status. What? The Polavaram irrigation project. Now this dam across the Godavari river, this dam is across which river? Godavari river. Now let me show you over here. This is the Godavari river that flows over here, and Polavaram is being undertaken here in these districts. Now what are the districts that covers and comes under this? These are the districts of Khammam. Khammam is a district in Telangana, and there are two districts in Andhra Pradesh called West Godavari and East Godavari. Now these three districts are a party to this project, or to this irrigation project. Now this dam across the Godavari river, it's under construction, and it is located in West Godavari and East Godavari district in Andhra Pradesh. Now the Polavaram irrigation project will be declared as a national project, which means the center will take under its control regulation and development. Before it was under the state. Now since it has been declared a national project, the center will take care of completely. So this was the reorganization bill, and let's now move on to the debate of Telangana versus Andhra. What happened there? Now it's been almost 2 years, and it's time to analyze which state has been progressing more and which state has a natural advantage and such issues. Now when we analyze Telangana versus Andhra's developmental aspects, the first thing we have to keep in mind is the budgetary position, where they stand money wise, who has how much. Now Telangana state, because it was a new state, it started off with piggy banks from center, and a very advantageous position because it also got much control over Hyderabad. So Telangana state started its budget with a positive opening balance. That means the total receipts, the total money they got in terms of revenue receipts was higher, but the public debt that they owed, or through loans, or it could be bonds or whatever, that was very much lower. This situation in Telangana was reversed in Andhra. Now Andhra Pradesh got higher public debt, but they received very less money in the original stance of it. Now moving on, there is this situation of fiscal situation. What about the fiscal situation? This mainly deals with the tax revenues and the surplus or deficit related to both the states. When it comes to the fiscal situation in Telangana state, it definitely showed a revenue surplus situation. That means it got more amount of revenue because of Hyderabad, obviously, and it is experts also say that it is only nominal and it might change with time. But then again, that remains to be seen. But the fiscal advantage that Telangana enjoys is not shared by Andhra Pradesh, because Andhra Pradesh is having a fiscal deficit like most other states. Now let's look into the Telangana's ease of doing business aspect. Now both these states have taken various measures to promote investment enthusiasm in their own states and attract more and more investors, thereby increasing the prosperity of their states. When it comes to Telangana, it is doing through the ease of doing business approach, and Andhra Pradesh has taken the aggressive memorandum of understanding approach. Now, analyzing Telangana's ease of doing business approach, what it does is Telangana is trying to draw investors into it by cutting through red tapeism and all other processes that will only delay doing business in India. So this would mean Telangana is also promising the approval of setting up businesses in 15 days. So that is like a marvelous thing that Telangana has undertaken. It's a very challenging thing to do also, because setting up a business in 15 days is not at all easy, because the Indian average itself is more than 28 days. So Telangana has promised to set up businesses in 15 days, and this is a very lucrative offer for all the foreign investments. And in Telangana statement, the government has also issued a statement saying that if it fails, the state says the project will be deemed approved. So in 15 days, if the Telangana government either approves the project or rejects the project, if it fails and if there is any red tapeism in it, then the project is deemed approved. So this is the guarantee that they are providing. Also, in the accountability front, the investors also have this problem of reliability. They don't trust the state governments enough. So what the Telangana government has done in that is, if the government does not deliver on this end of the deal, then the government will punish itself by saying that it is liable to face self-imposed penal action. So if it does not do any of this, the government is set to punish itself for all the delay that it's been doing. Investors are looking at this as a major, lucrative offer to come and do business here. Now, when it comes to Andhra Pradesh, though Telangana has very innovative ideas, Andhra Pradesh is also not new to this. Since Andhra Pradesh under Chandrababu Naidu, the existing chief minister, he's being called as a deal maker. So it's already way ahead in this race, and it is in the MOU signing level already. It has been like the offers have been put in, and most of the investors have already come to Andhra Pradesh, and they are signing memorandum of understandings. Only in 2015-16, Andhra Pradesh has signed 4.75 lakh crore with the potential to generate up to millions of new jobs. 4.75 lakh crore amounts a lot when it comes to generation of jobs. So many new countries like Malaysia and other countries are invested. Many new companies from these countries like Petrogas, even Pepsi, Walmart or Coal Corporation, could be Hero Motocorp, any of these things. They are all committed to doing projects in this state. Now, even when it comes to the industry of tourism is also a major thriving industry in Andhra Pradesh, but Telangana, since it was a backward state, except Hyderabad and some aspects of Golconda Fort or Charminar or whatever, Telangana was very backward in when it comes to tourism, because most of the places which were ancient had been lost in Telangana. Whereas Andhra Pradesh, that was not the case. Under Andhra Pradesh, there are many spots of coastal Andhra, Tirupati, or Amravati for that example. The tourism had been thriving. So since Andhra Pradesh already had that advantage, Telangana can now tap into the tourism that had been missing. Like it could be the state districts of Warangal, which has been the capital city of Kakatiya dynasty, or Qutub Shahi dynasties. Many of the lost forts have been still there in Telangana. So Telangana's tourism is a booming industry that is yet to be tapped into, and Telangana has a natural advantage in that too. So now these are the major advantages and disadvantages that these two states are facing as of the moment. Now, to what extent these two states will tap into the advantages it has and try to overcome their difficulties remains to be seen. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Please like and share as much as possible, and any of the doubts you have, please leave it down in the comment section below, and we'll be sure to get back to you.